The 1,000-point club at Bradley. He missed that one. Deion Jackson looked like he got that one clean, but I think they whistled the foul on him. They did.
I can believe they're saying Deion was over the back to get that initial tip to keep that rebound alive.
Here, it didn't look like
you got to look at it there. That's a pretty fine play right there.
I didn't think he got any body on that one. 21-16. Bradley's trailed by as many as 8 twice in this first half. Look at the work by Williams inside.
And again, that's just the difference in the strength and the size. Williams can create just as much force by pushing Bio out of the way. He just doesn't look like he's pushing.
Splits the double team, and he's fouled. They had a good double team on him, but he was just able to split it. Got to take a charge here or something, maybe.
Right there, you see he just stepped through the double team. That's your first rule when you're double teaming, not let the guy come through the middle of you.
Foul is on Bio. That's his second, and the 7th team foul on Bradley. So Kansas State now in the bonus. Johnny Williams, 6'9", 240. Played his ball at Chicago Carver in high school and then moved on to Cloud County Community College.
With his quickness and soft hands, looks like he'd be some kind of target for a quarterback to find from that tight end position.
Kinkelay replaced by Chad Klein. Speaking of tight ends, we hope you enjoyed our visit with Marcus Pollard on Meet the Braves. It aired here at 1:30 on WEEK. Speaking of football, Michigan over Ohio State 31-23. So Northwestern now in first place in the Big Ten.
Well, that's got to make a lot of people happy. A lot of Northwestern people have not had much to cheer about lately, but they look like they're going to the Rose Bowl this year. Huh?
The bad news is they go to the Rose Bowl but won't get to play for the national championship. Billy Wright for 3. Shot clock was at 3, so Billy had no choice. And the Braves cannot seem to find the basket.
Well, that's an interesting call there. Jim Molinari up, trying to get a better explanation from there. I thought the ball went right off the knee of the Kansas State player and right on out of bounds, but they say it was flipped away by one of the Bradley players.
Willie Sanchez, Rick Wilco, and Paul Jansen are officials this afternoon. All 3 gentlemen officiate in both the Valley and the Big 8, so no partisanship here today. 23-16, 4:20. Here comes Anthony Parker picking up the turnover, lays it up, he's fouled, count it and go to the line.
Well, you know, that may just be something that a scorer needs to get an easy one like this. Plus the foul, he goes to the free throw line for a 3-point play. Just a good effort here by Anthony. Nice long arm with the hand. Deflected that ball away. But this is the type of thing that a scorer needs to get himself going. You just got to get a basket to get that mental sight going that you can score.
Anthony Parker, one of the headiest players you'll ever see. He is so fluid and natural out there on the floor. He's got 5. The free throw gives him 6. And gets Bradley back within 4, 23-19, 4:10 to play here in the first half. Schwartzendruber now back into the lineup. Billy Wright almost stole it, but he's whistled for the foul. Billy is 4th on Bradley's all-time steals list. Almost had another one.
That was an ill-advised foul by Billy that time. I thought they had a pretty good double team set up on the sideline over there. Billy did just reach in across the shoulder and committed that foul.
Trying to make something happen for Bradley. Schwartzendruber at the line. No good. And they say it went off Bradley. We were screened by about 5 players, and Jim Molinari gets an explanation. It'll be K-State ball. Inside to Davis. Up off the glass and good. The senior has 9. And it's 25-19. Under 4 minutes of play now, first half. Jackson off a screen, up and good. Dion with 4.
Now we've had baskets by AP and Dion here. Successive trips down the floor. Let's hope that gets the Bradley offense stirred up a little bit. They're playing hard defensively. Obviously, it doesn't take a brain surgeon to figure out that Bradley's really weaker than Kansas State in size, with the size and the strength.
Another turnover for the Wildcats. And another break for us. 25-21. Bradley within 4 with 3:34 to go first half.
If you have what's overall the most powerful...
By First Bank, it makes sense to call us first. Creighton's Benoit Benjamin is the all-time Valley leader in block shots with 411 career rejections. Benoit has gone on to be a journeyman player in the NBA. We take a look at some of the stats. Bradley.
The glaring thing here, Bradley being out-rebounded 20-12, but what they are able to do, they are playing with a lot of heart, and that shows up in the turnover spot. Anytime Kansas State doesn't make a crisp pass, Bradley's able to get a finger on it, knock it loose, and pick up that loose ball. They lead the turnover war 11-5.
The Cats call off the dogs on the press, and Bradley brings it up with no pressure. Trailing by 4. Kansas State's led all the way in this one. Run a little motion here. Parker double team, kicks to Dion. 3 seconds in the lane. Tough defense by Kansas State.
One of the things I'd like to see AP pick up in this game. Great ball fake. Drew Tyrone Davis up in the air at the free throw line. He's got to learn just to step in and make that guy come down on top of him and make him foul him. When a guy makes that glaring a defensive mistake, you've got to force that to be a foul on that player.
Inside, Johnny Williams. No good. Davis tips, and it goes. He averaged 3 rebounds, offensive rebounds, that is, a game last year. That was 4th in the Big 8, and he gets another one there.
Yeah, but you got to remember, he was blocking out people 7 foot tall last year playing center for the Wildcats, and this year he's thrilled to be playing against people his own size.
Billy Wright knocks down the 3. And Bradley's back within 3. Big bucket there for Billy Wright, who only shot 26% from behind the arc a year ago. Young, the senior, loses it. Oh, Dwayne Funches had it, lost it, and comes back up with it again. Bradley with a chance to tie with a 3, but Billy is fouled.
You got to like the fact Bradley again pushing the ball up the floor. Billy with just a little bit of penetration, not necessarily going in to score, but just trying to create something, picks up a foul, as opposed to years past we've seen him just pull that out and set up an offense against a set defense.
Anton Hubert with 3 fouls now. He will come out and be replaced by Brian Gavin. Hubert has 3. Schwartzendruber has 2 for Kansas State. So the Cats guards getting in a little bit of foul trouble. Billy Wright at the line. Bradley will shoot 2 free throws for the remainder of the half. And Billy gets it to roll home. Good look at Jim Molinari. Billy Wright 2 for 2 at the line. Bradley within 1. That's as close as they've been in quite some time. Maybe since it was 3-2. Cats work it inside. No surprise there. Bradley almost had it. Davis goes up. Knocked Chad Klein to the ground, but the foul will go against Chad Klein.
I didn't get a good look at that one. I'm hoping to see this replay here. There's once again Bradley had the ball on the ground, wasn't able to come up with it. Kansas State picks it up there. It's going to be pretty tough. I'm not sure that was really a foul on Chad. Looked like he was falling down, trying to get out of the way. He got caught on a foul.
Tyrone Davis, the senior from Kansas City, is perfect at the line, 4 for 4.
Well, he's got a nice looking shot too. He's only 65% from the free throw line last year. That was nice form.
Bounces that one in. He's got 13. And it's back to a 3-point lead with 2 minutes to play in the first half. Davis comes back down the floor and is whistled for his 2nd foul.
Boy, you got to like Funches. You know, created a foul there, just working hard to get that inside low post position, and Davis had to foul him.
If he could just work on his enthusiasm.
Look at him fighting across the lane right there to get that spot.
Funch was fired up at the shoot-around yesterday. He was in a big man defensive drill against Ben Coupette, and boy, they were banging heads yesterday. It was fun to watch. They were talking to each other, and Ben would score on Funch and tell him, you can't stop me, and then Funch would score on Coupette. It was a lot of fun to watch.
Can you imagine? And they roommate together on the road. Can you imagine as much trash talking as we heard in 5 minutes of a big man drill, one-on-one under the basket? What goes on at 10 o'clock in that room at night?
Funches has 10. Misses his second. Under 2 minutes now, 29-27. The Braves have gotten back into this one after trailing a couple of different times by 8. And it's just through good hard work at the defensive end, and they finally got the ball to go down for him. Young, tough shot. Parker the rebound. Here comes Bradley. Pushing. Klein, 3. Yes! Chad Klein gives Bradley their first lead of the ball game.
Great read by Billy, and again the penetration forced everybody to the baseline. Chad trailing the play, spots up for his shot. If you remember going back a few years, but Dave Collins made a living on that move right there, and Chad Klein can knock that 3 down from the top.
Can't wait to look at the stats at halftime. Bradley has shot very poorly, but they're right back in it. And look at Deion Jackson got away with a push there. He just moved Eaker out.
I saw it. He just cleared him out with the elbow. Look at this penetration.
Deion.
See Deion again, just like AP. When you fake that guy up in the air, you got to step in so they come down on top of him and create that foul.
Billy Wright, a tough play, but he had some good penetration there, and Deion some good restraint, not forcing that shot as we're under a minute. Bradley by 1. They trailed the first. Oh, what's that? That's just good defense, sir. I think.
We'll get a second look at it here. Hopefully Chad leaning in. Chad does a great job with the upper body. Keeps those arms and elbows away so it doesn't look like it's fouling. But I guarantee you, Chad can usually hit about as good as anybody can.
But he's been playing defense like that the entire first half. If you bump him enough where he doesn't get the ball, that's a foul. But I didn't agree with that call. Eaker at the line. He really hasn't been much of a factor so far. That's just his 3rd point, and we're tied now at 30. Eaker might look familiar. He appeared in the movie Hoop Dreams. Went to high school with Arthur Agee and William Gapes at St. Joseph in Chicago. Missed his second. We're tied. You see the clock. Bradley wants a 20-second timeout. That's a new rule this year. 20-second timeout for Jim Molinari. This Bradley basketball telecast protected by broadcast rights granted by Bradley University and the Missouri Valley Conference. Any rebroadcast or other use without the express written consent of WEEK TV and Bradley University is prohibited. This is a great facility here, but everybody in Manhattan, Kansas is talking football. The Wildcats are going to the Holiday Bowl, and basketball is not a big priority right now for them.
And this is the first game of the year. All the students, I'm sure, are away at home for the Thanksgiving holidays. It's about 70 degrees outside. It's not a great matchup to bring everybody into, or it's a great, don't get me wrong, it's a great matchup, but it's a tough day to try and bring people in to watch a basketball game.
Including us. No, not really. Would have been nice if it was a night game. We could have gotten a little golf in, maybe.
Or if it would stay daylight a little longer this afternoon.
Right. Here come the Braves with time winding down. Klein, a tough one, won't go. And we'll end up tied at the half. Unless that goes, and it doesn't. A great effort by Bradley to fight back into this when they trailed 10-2. They trailed 21-13, but they are now even at the half, tied at 30 in Manhattan, Kansas. We'll be back with the halftime festivities in just a minute. Struggling. He has 6 points, but he's 1 for 6 from the field, 0 for 2 from 3-point range. After that, it's Deion Jackson with 4. Billy Wright with 5. He had a big 3-pointer. Deion Jackson with 4. Chad Klein 3. Ben Coupette with 2. It's been all Tyrone Davis for Kansas State. 13 points, 3 offensive rebounds, 3 defensive. He has 6 boards to lead the way for Kansas State. Schwartzendruber with 5. Eaker and May with 3 each. Williams has 4. And that does it for the scoring for both teams. Bradley trying to pick it up a little bit offensively. The defense turned it around a little bit there toward the end of the first half as well. They trailed for the first 19 minutes of the ball game. Billy Wright hit a 3 to give them their only lead at 30-29.
I think a real glaring stat in the stat sheet, Lee. Anthony Parker, Deion Jackson, Aaron Zobrist to combine 3 of 13 from the floor. They've got to get more active in the Bradley offensive end of the floor.
Starting lineup back in for Bradley. Parker still cold from the field. 0 for 3 now from 3-point range. Bradley gets a new 35. Deion finds an opening. Up, no good. Davis is there for the rebound. Davis 10.6 rebounds in their last exhibition game against Pella Windows. They go inside to Eager. Good help by Funches. Schwarzenegger walked. 13 turnovers now for the Cats, who have not taken very good care of the ball this afternoon.
Oh, that's their 13th turnover. In the first possession they have in the second half, they turn the ball over. You can't be very happy with that if you're a Wildcat fan. Bradley's done a good job. Obviously, they're going to struggle to rebound with the bigger and stronger Wildcats, but when the ball goes on the floor, Bradley's going to have to come up with it. And the difference in the turnover is showing that they're doing an excellent job of that.
Inside, Deion Jackson posts up, has it taken away by Young. It'll be Bradley's ball as he stepped on the end line.
But Bradley still hasn't found Deion close to the basket with Young guarding him. I'd like for them to really look and try and find that mismatch down low.
Parker cut through the double team, gives it to Funches, who has been the man for Bradley. He has 12.
Funch 4 for 4 from the floor today. Really has that good shooting eye and picks up a loose ball there. That's what we talked about when the ball comes down. But Bradley's going to have to pick it up off the floor because it's hard to get it from above the rim.
Anthony Parker having a tough afternoon. And who would figure that with Deion with 4 and Anthony with just 1 basket in the first half that they'd be in this ball game. And in fact, now with the lead, their second lead of the ball game. Well, now nobody wants to pick it up for Kansas State. They're struggling a little bit here in the first minute and a half of the second half. Deion whistled for the reach. It's his second.
Foul number 42, Deion Jackson, his second.
That's first team foul on Bradley here in the second half. So the Cats will take it out of bounds. There's Tom Asbury. 137 and 74 in his career. He took Pepperdine to the NCAA 3 times, 2 NIT trips. He's an assistant to Jim Herrick there, who of course went on to UCLA and won a national title last year. Young puts up the high arching shot. May there for the rebound. Kansas State gets a new 35.
Good help inside by Anthony Parker there.
Bradley making K-State work for a shot here. Davis short on that one. Parker the rebound. Funches scoring in bunches. He has 14. And it's a 4-point Bradley lead with 17:33 to play. Kansas State needs a timeout. It'll be a 20, so we will stay here. Funches having himself a ball game. He's only scored over 20 points twice in his career, and it came in back-to-back games a year ago against Southern and Indiana State, and he is carrying the offensive load for the Braves here today.
Give that credit on that basket there to Billy Wright with the penetration. You really got to like the fact that Billy's made some nice decisions. That one there, of course, earlier in the first half, he found Chad Klein wide open for a 3. I like Billy in the open court, always have. We just haven't given him enough opportunities, and they seem to be looking to do that more this year.
Aaron Zobrist back into the Bradley lineup.
You know, this is a game that's just ripe for Bradley to take. They just got to come out and take the ball game. Like we've said, they're really struggling offensively. The guys you expect to score aren't. If we can just get 1 or 2, you know, either Deion, Aaron, Anthony, just get 1 or 2 of them.
Look at that. Here. Oh, man. Man, what a great hustle by Anthony Parker, and Billy just threw it away. Billy doesn't make too many mistakes like that. I thought Anthony might have been out of bounds. He's across from our broadcast position, but what a great play, and Billy just kind of forced it. Watch this.
Look at this, through the legs.
That ought to be our hot play, I think. It would have really been hot if Bradley would have been able to convert.
That's good defense there. That play's tougher to defend than it looks when they set that screen, but double screen up high. The point guard has the option of going either way. You really got to battle across that screen and get help from the low guy so that they don't create the mismatch on a switch. You have to fight through that, and Bradley did that extremely well. There's good help in the middle. Once again, the Bradley defense in the middle has really played well from the shoulders down. Now, when the ball gets up in the air, they struggle because they don't have the sides, but they've really gotten their hands on a lot of balls down low.
Biles coming over on the help and staying in the double team now, whereas in the first half he was breaking off the double team maybe a little bit too soon.
Well, I think Bio early was not committed himself for the double team. He was kind of coming halfway, not really double teaming, not really guarding his own man, and now he's made that adjustment, and by coming over and really putting a strong double team on, there he walked and didn't get called for it.
Anthony just can't get loose, and now turns it over himself. Quickly ahead to Dyes, who misses it. Now Funch comes up with it. Funch leading the break. What's this? Braves swing it. Parker, get that one in, AP. Attaboy. It's his first three-pointer of the afternoon.
Well, I think he was pretty happy with that one.
7-0 Bradley run to start the second half. Kansas State hasn't scored in 4 minutes.
You notice Kansas State has not been able to get the ball inside where they've been so strong. That's going to go to Bradley.
Nice defense, Funch. Nice defense by the senior from Chicago Orr, who's playing his extra large heart out this afternoon. Bradley by 7.
It's a very exciting time for our team.
Second half and shot the ball extremely well.
Great athleticism by Anthony Parker, who embraces Dwayne Funches, leading the way for BU with 14 points. Bradley Trivia is brought to you by your local Ford dealer. Who is the tallest player in Bradley history? The answer coming up later in the game.
Don't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if Kansas State came back with that full court pressure a little bit here in the second half. They used it a little bit early. Bradley was somewhat shaken by it. Not that it really upset Bradley so much, but it seemed to get Kansas State more involved in their own defensive scheme on the half court end.
If there's anybody you'd like to see play well and succeed, it's Dwayne Funches, who puts heart and soul into every minute he wears a Bradley uniform. Funches for 3? No, he was on the line.
Foot on the line.
That would have been just a little too much to believe. 39-30. Funches 16. His career high is 21.
Double high post. Funch got to step out and help and get back to his own man. See that? Ooh, nice.
Nice defense. Aaron couldn't control it, but that's just outstanding D by Bradley. And if you saw Meet the Braves, you heard Judge Joe Billy McDade talk about the great Bradley teams and how they played good defense, and that was what he liked to see. I know he's in Houston today for a class reunion, but he'd love what's happening here for Bradley in the second half.
Aaron in the corner.
Funch has the hot hand. Let's see what they do here. 15-15 to play. Bradley up 9. They trailed by as many as 8 twice in the second half. Zobes for 3. Good. Bradley's hit a couple now.
Oh, we've had 2 huge shots. That one there by Aaron and the 3 that Anthony hit. Both put smiles on their faces.
42-30. Bradley hasn't given up a point in over 5 minutes here in the second half. And here comes Anthony Parker behind the back. Wright gives it back. Now to Billy. Goaltending. It counts anyway.
You know, and the unselfish play has really shown in this game, and especially in that sequence right there. Both players had multiple opportunities to take the ball to the basket. They gave it up, spun the defense around, and got an absolutely easy basket.
That's what playing together for 3 years will do for you. Bradley up 14. Tell you what, Anthony Parker has not shot well, but he's doing the kind of things that's going to help this team win. And when you're a good player like Anthony Parker is, and maybe the most well-rounded Bradley player since Hersey Hawkins. You do other things when you're not scoring. You do other things to help your team win, and he did it right there. This game's not over, though. 14:35 to play in the ball game. All Bradley here in the second half. Davis with the foul. He doesn't like that. That's his third.
Well, he took the free arm and just threw Aaron Zobrist away. It was a foul, but that's not one you really expect to get on the road. Bradley getting a little bit of a break there.
Kansas State hasn't scored a basket since they made it 27-21. We don't know how much time's left because we haven't gotten a play-by-play sheet from the first half yet. Zobrist for three.
I like that shot.
2 in a row for Zobes. He's got 6.
And I was just about to say what Bradley has to do is they have to continue doing the things that they've done to get him this 16-point or 17-point lead. Aaron Zobrist came off the screen in a normal situation. That's a shot they want him to take. He fires it up with no hesitation and buries it.
The Braves have shut out Kansas State now for 5 minutes and 51 seconds in the second half. This is the kind of thing that Bradley had went through 3-4 years ago.
That was a tough call there. Bradley again playing pretty good interior defense there. That was about the first time we've seen this year where K-State been able to establish that inside position. That's just too close to the basket there. Funch not able to hold Davis away from the lane that time.
Returning for Bradley, number 30, Chad Klein.
Chad Klein back into the lineup.
State is Tyrone Davis, shooting 2.
It's a good substitution. I like that by Jim. Funch has been playing great. He's certainly going to see more time in this game. But right now, before Kansas State can get anything going, bring your big people back in. Let's reestablish inside defense with our strength, the best strength that we have, and make K-State do something differently.
Kansas State hasn't scored a field goal in the last 8 minutes and 53 seconds of play, going back to 2:56 remaining in the first half. They get a couple of free throws and break the shutout, however.
There's that pressure we talked about.
That was Davis, wasn't it, Roger? That was
Davis at the free throw line, yeah.
A little quick research there. That's amazing.
Foul number 53, Johnny Williams, his first. Team foul number 2, Kansas State in the second half.
Zobrist trying for 3 in a row. He gets the hat trick. He was 0 for 2 in the first half, and he's now made 3 straight. 50-32.
You can tell the guys that are shooters, you know, they think they're going to make every. There again, the ball's on the floor, and Bradley comes up with yet another turnover.
AP kicks to Zobes, 4 in a row. No. He'll keep shooting.
It's a good shot. That's a great shot.
He's a big pheasant hunter. I wonder if he's had that kind of luck here in pheasant season as he has here in the second half. Still no buckets for Kansas State.
So Bile just not quite strong enough. Had great inside position, but couldn't go up and get it with both hands and pull that one in.
Returning for the Cats, number 40, Tom Hubert.
9 minutes and 46 seconds now since the Kansas State field goal was scored. There's a 3. And there it is. That ends the streak. .952 was the Bradley shutout as far as field goals go.
The crowd really trying to get back into it. Now, it's a big possession for Bradley. A basket here will quiet this crowd, and especially if it's a 3.
AP still can't heat it up from outside.
See Aaron Zobrist keep that ball alive, tipping it away.
Swing it. Oh, Chad was open in the corner.
Right there, Aaron's got it. When Tyrone Davis makes that fly at you, you've got to make him foul. You've got to step into him and make him land on you for a foul.
Billy Wright for 3. No. And here comes Kansas State within 15 with 12:10 to play in the ball game.
He traveled.
Hubert for three. Nope.
Junior college, Hubert was a 47% three-point shooter.
That's Young to the hole. Yeah, you talk about Hubert, who's number 4 out there. He was recruited by North Carolina in high school until he injured his knee.